Why does child labor occur, and what are some of the common reasons behind it? Child labor occurs for various reasons, including poverty, lack of access to education, cultural attitudes, and demand for cheap labor. In many cases, families living in poverty rely on their children's income to survive, while employers exploit children's vulnerability to pay them lower wages and avoid labor regulations. Why is child labor a concern for governments, and what are the social and economic impacts of child labor? Child labor is a significant concern for governments due to its detrimental effects on children's health, education, and well-being. Children engaged in labor are often deprived of their right to education, exposed to hazardous working conditions, and vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. Moreover, child labor perpetuates the cycle of poverty, hindering economic development and perpetuating social inequalities. Is child labor a matter of concern in your country, and what steps has the government taken to address it? Yes, child labor is a matter of concern in our country. The government has taken various steps to address this issue, including enacting legislation to protect children's rights, improving access to education, and implementing programs to combat poverty and provide support to vulnerable families. Additionally, the government has increased enforcement of labor laws and regulations to prevent the exploitation of children in the workforce. Is child labor a matter of concern in your country, and what steps has the government taken to address it? Yes, child labor is a matter of concern in our country. How can child labor be effectively addressed, both at a national and international level? Child labor can be effectively addressed through a combination of legislative measures, social programs, and international cooperation. At the national level, governments should enforce strict labor laws, improve access to education, provide social assistance to families in need, and create opportunities for decent work for adults. Internationally, cooperation between countries is essential to address the root causes of child labor, such as poverty, lack of education, and demand for cheap labor. Do you think family types are related to child poverty issues, and if so, how? Yes, family types can be related to child poverty issues. Single-parent families, large families, and families with low levels of education or unstable employment are more likely to experience poverty, making children in these families more vulnerable to exploitation and child labor. Addressing child poverty requires comprehensive social policies that provide support to vulnerable families, including access to education, healthcare, and social assistance.